I always have to think about how do I keep our company off the front page of the Wall Street Journal in the negative way.
In the negative way.
Most vendors are doing a once-a-year audit.
Right.
And when I think about a once-a-year audit, it's like going to the doctor. The partnership with IBM Watson X Governance is allowing us to have 24/7, 365 governance of our AI for bias detection and hallucinations. I think it's the multi-layers of candidate fraud detection that are going to be important across the tech. So I think there's an opportunity to reimagine what the next generation hiring tech is.
Hey, this is William Tincup, Ryan Leary. Dara?
Hey,
Brenner?
Dara Brenner.
See, I did my homework. If you believe that, yeah, anyhow, there's a problem. So, Dara, will you do us a favor and introduce yourself?
I certainly will. I am Dara Brenner. I'm the Chief Executive Officer at Employ.
And so you've had this this new job, for how long?
Like a few months.
More like a few weeks.
Few weeks.
Few months.
Weeks, months.
Yeah, minutes. Actually, last week. Whatever.
Yeah, it's a minute or two.
But you've been with Employ, especially as Chief Product Officer, for a while.
I started with Employ as Chief Product Officer about a year and a half.
Okay. So, big difference between the two. What's been the difference so far?
The office.
Yeah, I was going to say, as I joke, go from CPO to CEO, so I'm further up in the alphabet.
Yeah.
There you
That's
go.
what you're looking for?
Yeah, you got to talk to the board more?
Yeah.
Great.
Exactly, yeah. No, I think probably the biggest difference is the lens. So spending most of my time focused on product and engineering and how do we kind of move the product forward. And now, while I was always around and involved in some of the decisions around marketing and the customer org and finance and sales and so on and so forth, because we're a very collaborative leadership team, I now am much more involved. And so it's been an amazing learning experience for me. And I am continuing to learn every single day.
I was going to take it back to the event before we even got there. I know I came in late, so hopefully I didn't miss anything. You've been here for a day?
Ish.
Or 2 days
Ish.
maybe?
Yeah.
What's the trend that you're seeing? What's the theme? What is everybody talking about here?
Well, you know what everyone's talking about, which is AI.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Amazing. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Not talking about on-prem software?
That would take me way back, William.
If you
way
took
back.
if you took a survey, how many people here would actually know what that meant?
That's a good
On-prem.
point.
Yeah.
Only the old heads.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Now it's cloud. What was it way back when it was on-prem? It was administrative
Right.
cloud services or
That's right.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd send you the CDs.
One of three.
Your IT, it was usually for the larger software, it was like one of 50.
Yeah.
And you had to put them in.
Speaking of CDs, did you hear AOL is finally going out of business?
It's great. I still have my email. I still have Tin Cup at AOL.
Don't admit that.
Do you really? I still have that noise in my head of when it connects.
You've got email. You've got mail. It wasn't even an email.
No.
You've got mail.
Yep.
So what's the theme du jour for Employ here at HR Tech?
So I think for us, obviously, we want to ride the AI wave like everyone else, but I
Right.
think the key for us is really about responsible AI. And so when I think about responsible AI, I really think about the word governance.
Right.
And so there's really two things that we're focused on. One is we have a partnership with IBM that really provides what I like to say is always-on governance. So if you think about AI, most vendors are doing a once-a-year audit.
Right.
And when I think about a once-a-year audit, it's like going to the doctor
Yeah.
and finding out that you're in perfect bill of health, but that only told you what you knew about the last year.
Yeah, that's
But
the
you don't know
rearview
what's
mirror.
gonna right, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And so the partnership with IBM Watson X Governance is allowing us to have 24/7, 365 governance of our AI for bias detection and hallucinations. And so for us, it's almost like having a doctor in your house all the time saying, you're still good, you're still good.
I love that because it's outsourced. my issues of years of kind of looking at different models. People audit their AI, they audit it internally, they have an ombudsman. Some people do third-party audits. I like that you've got a different group. IBM, Ryan's a former IBMer, so...
By way of Connexa. Let's just...
Connexa.
We'll say Connexa.
Yeah, that goes way back.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things to have a group of smart people looking at what you're doing to make sure it's doing what you want it to do. You go into it with, okay, this is what it's going to do. And then you soon realize, okay, it's screening people out because of X, Y, Z. Yeah, we didn't intend for that to happen.
Right. Yeah, and I think for us, AI is a little bit of the wild, wild west here in HR tech. And so, obviously, especially as a CPO and now a CEO, I always have to think about how do I keep our company off the front page of the Wall Street Journal in the negative way.
Yeah.
In the negative way. In the negative way.
And so, certainly,
When you do your IPO, you will want to be closer to the front fold.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
But so that's a big thing. And then the other piece to that is what I think is going to become really large, which is candidate fraud.
Oh, it already is.
Yeah.
We've been talking about that for a while now.
Yeah.
And we, I solved a client and a friend of ours. We met their fraud prevention, chief fraud prevention, and Ryan and I were blown away because this guy, because he came out of the credit card industry,
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
and
Stories.
and literally, like he's just like, yeah, they just create a fake employee, then they're getting paid. It goes to it goes to an account. That account can get then obviously shoved, and it's happening out of North Korea.
Unnoticed.
That's
And
exactly
it's just deep fakes, all that type of stuff. Like you can interview someone in a Zoom call or whatever, and it looks real because they've got their voice, they've got their image, they can do it in a round, and you're hiring Brad, whatever. You're hiring this person. They'll do the work or not do the work. They're just going to keep the income flowing,
Yeah.
and it's not a real person. All this stuff. So
Yeah.
and he's just telling us these stories, like just dripping off of him, telling us these stories. And I asked a dumb question. I'm like, all right, well, what about the dark web? He's like, so 20 years ago. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, thanks for making me feel
We
stupid.
have a photo. We'll have to show it to you. It's a photo of William just
Yeah.
like it was just caught in the moment of a story.
That's great.
It was a deep
It took
fake
him
one.
by surprise.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, so we have a customer who hired a North Korean,
Yep.
and I'm protecting the name of the customer, protect the innocent. But luckily, before that person actually got access, I think it was a customer service rep to all of their critical systems, they figured it out. And so you kind of talked about a couple of different areas where candidate fraud can happen. And so for us at Employ, what we're focused on is almost like if you think about Swiss cheese, if you have one layer of Swiss cheese that's got holes in it, right? And that to me is one layer of candidate fraud. There's still holes in it. But as you start to stack the Swiss cheese, the holes get smaller and smaller. And so what we're looking at from a candidate fraud perspective is layers of fraud detection across the workflow of the hiring process. And so whether it's identity verification, but not such that it eliminates or limits the number of candidates coming through,
Right.
because of the information it's asking for, all the way through screening, all the way into interviews, to your point, not only somebody who's not real taking an interview, but we had a situation where we were doing an interview and essentially the person had ChatGPT listening to the questions
Right.
on the screen to their right, and it would automatically answer in their tone, and this person would read the questions back and
Genius.
answer back. And so we caught it because we could see the constant eye moving, but one of the things we're looking at doing is there's technologies out there that we can leverage that can watch the eyes
That's right.
and detect whether or not they're doing something like this. So I think it's the multi-layers of candidate fraud detection that are going to be important across the entire
Yeah,
board.
and I love the analogy of the Swiss cheese. I think that really kind of paints the picture. So the question I have is, how do we? And I don't know that we can. How do we accommodate all of these scenarios? You can't. There's no way to figure out what all these scenarios are going to be.
Are you
How
trying
do
to stop
actually
fraud or limit fraud?
limit? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
a good
think.
way to ask.
Yeah, I think it's limiting fraud, but it's like anything else. As these things pop up, you have to stick your finger in the dike and
That's
try
right.
to
Yeah,
control that
yeah.
piece.
You got that one. Now
Yeah.
there's another one.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I think as long as you're not thinking about fraud as a singular thing,
Right,
and you're thinking about it across the entire hiring workflow, then I think ultimately you're just going to have to be chasing it, but you'll provide to the customers what it is that they need because they're scared. I mean, it's interesting. 6 months ago, we had a CAB meeting, and I was talking to all of our CAB attendees, and I said, "What's the biggest thing you're focused on right now?" 6 months ago, and they were like, "AI. I need AI to make me more productive, to make me more efficient," and ultimately, we came and talked to them a couple of weeks ago, and not a single one was mentioning AI. Every single one of them was talking about fraud.
So
Yeah.
2 or 3 HR techs ago, there was a ton of background screening companies, so Checker and HireRight, all of them basically. And they were talking more at that time about going into the employee experience and doing constant, so not just a pre-hire, but going into and monitor.
Ongoing monitoring.
And a SaaS model, so kind of cool. And now it's changed because the ID verification, the verification folks, it looks like that's now the wheel, and background checks are just a spoke. So the answering the question of are you,
Yeah.
like solving for that.
Yeah, and I think that it's interesting, and you mentioned employee experience because it's a very difficult line to walk because
100%.
you can very easily screw up your candidate experience
Yep.
by making it too draconian.
Right.
And so we're trying to figure out what is that, what's the right balance between candidate experience and detection of fraud.
Yep.
But I do think that there's an opportunity with some of these identification verification companies that may already have data on everybody for a
Yeah.
variety of reasons that you can use versus there's other vendors out there that have partnered with customers that they're looking for all the biometric data. Me, if I'm applying for a job, I'm not giving them my biometric data.
No.
Like that's not happening. And so you don't want to necessarily reduce your potential pool of candidates because of making it too draconian in the front end of the process.
So you know who has the best process for this?
Who?
OnlyFans. No, I'm not joking.
He's definitely not.
I set up an OnlyFans account.
Okay.
So
say that loud.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to know.
You gotta say
Do
that
wanna
loud.
know
I set up
this,
an
Ryan?
OnlyFans. I have an OnlyFans account. I show my feet. No, I don't. Just kidding. So here's the bit.
We are.
I just wanted to go through this process. And the process is you take a picture of your government ID,
Okay.
both sides. Then you take a picture of yourself. Then you take a picture of yourself with your ID. And they text you. They have you fingerprint to log in, so they know your phone is your phone, so that they have your geolocation. They email you, and then they hit you on one of your social media platforms.
Wow.
And you have to verify all of them within seconds.
And I love that, but if I'm applying for a job,
No.
Not for a job.
No,
That's
no, no,
not-
Yeah.
no.
yeah.
People that, obviously, creators that are going to do OnlyFans, they know what they're getting themselves into. It's not a candidate experience, but the verification process, you can't hack that. You can't fake it,
no.
which is fantastic.
Yeah.
I think candidates, if there's something in it for them, like if you put a behavioral assessment in front of them, a personality test in front of them, skills-based or even background checks, if they get something out of it, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
Like if you communicate that during the process and say, listen, we're doing a background check, we're just going to be looking at this, and this, and you're going to get a copy, or a credit report. We're going to do this, and you're going to get a copy. They're more apt to then go, okay.
Yeah, if there's a carrot, I totally agree. And I think there's a little bit of a perception because it's an employer market right now that candidates will do what they have to do to get a job.
Right.
That may or may not be true, but we all know because we've been around HR long enough, it's going to shift.
Oh, yeah.
And at that
Always
point,
does.
Yeah, at that point, if you don't have the right answer to detect this fraud in a way that's not really impactful in a negative way to the candidate experience, then you've lost.
Ryan's daughter is 17.
She'll be 18 in less than a month.
God bless you. You'll have an adult.
Yeah.
You know, when they turn 18, you go from being their parent to their advisor. Yeah.
You've told me that before.
Yeah. It's actually a joke, but
No.
it's an Earthquake, the comic out of Atlantic makes this joke. Anyhow, the thing is she won't apply to, which I find fascinating, she won't apply to a job unless it's mobile.
Actually, funny story. She's just she's a lifeguard and she works at a couple different spots. She's applying for a new job, and it said contact us. It was the YMCA.
Yeah.
So it said contact us. Gave her number, the whole bit. She texted the number, wrote the whole message, sent it to her, She's like, I haven't heard back yet and all this
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
It's a landline. She's like, I texted. It said contact. I'm like,
Yeah.
that means call.
No,
She's
no.
like, what's a landline?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she didn't even think about calling.
No.
Didn't even cross her
Call.
mind. Didn't even cross her mind.
Yeah.
Well, we went through the same thing with I have a 19-year-old Henry, and the same thing this summer is like I talked to the people, reached out, blah blah blah. I went for the interview. Great. They said that they're going to call me between 5 and 7. I'm like, let me set some expectations. let me step in real quick and give you some schooling. They might contact you between 5 and 7, and he didn't understand like why people couldn't get back to him. Like it was fascinating on like sociology perspective just to see how different it was, because it's like, hey, it's 7. They haven't called. I'm like, yeah, they probably won't.
Yeah.
No, it's the Gen Z generation. I hate to be the people that are like, oh,
No, no, no.
generations
No, no.
are so different.
It's true.
But
It's true.
I think I've got 2 of them. My sons are both Gen Z, and they are just a different breed.
Same. All of us. I think your youngest might be
I've got
alpha.
so 18, 15, and she'll be 12 in
Yeah.
April.
So
So
Yeah,
that's
you've got an
yeah,
alpha in
That's
there.
an alpha, but it's interesting because
Yeah.
you talk about text, and my kids are applying for jobs right now, and they don't respond to texts. But it's amazing if somebody snap messages them.
right there.
Yeah,
right
not a
away.
problem.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And
Oh, yeah.
so,
Keep the streaks alive, baby.
yeah. So we're trying to figure out, because obviously text is super important.
Yeah.
But what about Insta messaging?
Yeah,
What about
why
Snap
not?
messaging? Because we've got to take it beyond text. Because this next
Oh,
generation,
100%.
they're just not answering texts.
No.
Yeah.
You look down and see a phone number that says unknown. Yeah.
Yeah,
chance.
the other thing which I've noticed with at least with her, if they don't respond in a certain amount of time, she's done. Like she's moved on. And
Oh,
that's
yeah.
it. Like,
Yep.
she has a time,
They-
whatever that time limit is, she has it, and that's it.
They call that a moment of attention. So when you capture, or you go through a grocery store, they have a QR code or whatever. That moment they look at it and go, that kind of seems cool.
Yeah.
Click, boom, do their bit.
As long as she can pay her car insurance,
That's
I
a
don't
half
care.
life.
Yeah,
That,
exactly.
that just starts to descend, like you're saying,
Quickly.
Ryan.
Quickly.
It's just really quick. At that moment of attention, you go a day. It's like, what job?
Yeah.
What did I do?
Not interested.
Not thinking about it at all.
They're interesting.
As long as she pays her car insurance,
That's all you care about.
I'm good. Just get a job.
Yeah, I've got one adulting now.
Oh,
What?
Yeah, I've got one adulting.
Oh, I'm impressed.
And he graduated college, he got himself a job, and he is off adulting now. You know, I'd love to say he's off the payroll. He's kind of off.
Ish.
But it's close. I
Are
mean,
they
it's-
ever really off the payroll?
That's the point.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's probably 90% of the way there. So
Okay.
I feel like maybe I did something right from a parenting perspective.
My wife and I, we constantly discuss our parenting fails, like all the things we did wrong. So it's just kind of a funny bit. Like, yeah, we should have never done that. That was terrible. What a horrible experience. Why did we do that to this kid?
Yeah, we all do it though.
Yeah, you put this is someone else's bit, but you put money into their college fund, and then you put an equal amount of money into their therapy fund. So that they can unwind some of the things that you did.
I always joke
Seems
about
fair.
I joke about it with my friends because they're like, do we know what we're doing? I'm like, well, clearly we don't. But I kind of figure at the point in time where our children are adults, you know they're going to be in therapy. So it's not a
Oh,
question of
100%.
therapy. It's
100%.
a question of for what. And
Right.
that will be your defining moment of how good of a parent you are.
how good of a parent? Yeah.
Well, and my wife and I are polar opposites. So she runs adult formation for a Catholic church. So super Christian, super Catholic.
So not on OnlyFans.
I don't think you need to tell her anymore. She understands the other half. Of it.
I'm pretty sure she doesn't know what OnlyFans is. So she's not there. And I'm on the other side of that. Like, if something's inappropriate, I'm definitely going to talk about it. Like, I'm that guy. I run into the conflict just because it's fun.
Dinner at the Tin Cup
Oh,
family. It
it's-
must be really interesting.
Oh my
It's
God.
hilarious.
So we've got kids that grow up with both of our DNA and both of those experiences. And like, I'm telling them stories of the 80s, stories of all kinds of inappropriate stuff. And of course, my wife is like,
Stop it.
stop. She didn't have any of that stuff.
No.
She grew up perfect student, all made A's, National Honor Society. I'm like, what was that? I didn't even know what National Honor Society was.
Those are the people at the end of the hall that you never talk to.
That's probably it. It's like, oh, watch out for this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, one last question for me is, we're here a year from now. What's different about employee?
So I would expect what's different about employee is that we are going to reimagine what the hiring technology industry is. ATSs, as we know, have been around a very, very long time.
55 years.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I think there's an opportunity to reimagine what the next generation of hiring tech is. And I would hope and I would expect that we'll be talking about that in a big, bad way 1 year from now.
I like that. It's needed, required.
I think we're good.
You good?
We're good. I
Okay.
got nothing else.
All right.
Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, and we're out. So is